Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And this is I'm going to go through my worst NUFC 11. There is plenty more I could put in this 11, to be honest, but um, I'm hoping I've picked the best of the worst, but there obviously is more than that. We know that. But anyway, before we get into the show, if you do like what you see, please do smash that like. It does help the channel, and it means new viewers find it easily. So give it a like, just like Sean the Sheep showing you. If you're brand new to the channel, come and smash this subscribe. Come be part of this great community we got here. Also hit that bell notification to let you know when there's any upcoming shows, live shows, or pre-records as well. If you want to become members, 99p, do that by clicking the join button. And if you want to make a donation, you can do that in chat by clicking the $sign as well. All money reinvested into the channel. So I'm on the way towards 1,200 subscribers. So thank you very much indeed. Get into some comments before we get in. By the way, if you join in as well in the chat, join in, pick your team, who you think's the worst 11, who's your worst 11, or when we're going through these players, see who you think is. Do you think I'm right with these 11, or do you think I'm wrong with some of them? Who knows? Anyway, Andrew Straighton, he says, I'm alright, mate. Hope you're well. Evening Tony says, Trolls. Good evening, Trolls. Hope you're well, mate. So do get your evening, Tony. Hope nobody's talking about King Bramble. Well, you'll have to wait and see for that one. But like I say, get your worst team in the chat. Get your players in the chat. Let us know. And, we can have a look at them as well. Right, okay. So, now then, let's get into it. So I'm going to start with the goalkeepers first of all, because we'll start from the goalkeeper and work through to the forward line. So I'm going with the 4-4-2 formation tonight. So we're not doing an Eddie Howe 4-3-3. We're doing a 4-4-2 formation as well tonight. Hi, Tony, says Ian. Good evening to you, Ian. Hope you're well, mate. Yeah, do get your thoughts in. My worst 11 was Gallant and Mighty winning it. A bit of a mouthful, that, wasn't it? Right, okay. So, worst 11. Right. So first of all, I've picked this goalkeeper. And the goalkeeper I've picked for my worst 11, now there's plenty of keepers we've had over the years who are absolute dog poo, basically. I say dog poo because obviously it could be children watching this, so I don't really want to swear. Right, okay, so first of all, let's get into it. My first pick for goalkeeper is this man. There he is. That is Mike Hooper. Kevin Keegan signed him from Liverpool. He was Liverpool's second choice goalkeeper to Bruce Grobbelaar. He wasn't a bad keeper at Liverpool, and when we signed him, I was actually pretty all right about the signing because I thought, he's not a bad keeper, good second choice keeper to have, to bring in, and hopefully he'll do well for us. So he signed in 1993 for us. But he stayed with us for 3 years and made 25 appearances in those 3 years that he was with us. He kept a clean sheet on his debut against West Ham, but his appearances were restricted by, obviously, Pavel coming into the club, and he did get loaned out to Sunderland in 1994 to gain more first-team opportunities. But he was sold. The club got rid of him. The reason they got rid of him, he was caught on camera, laughing his head off while sitting on the bench when we conceded a goal, and he never played senior football again. We then signed Shaka Hislop, and Hooper left with a little hope of even a place on the Newcastle bench. But he stayed at the club until the end of his contract in 1996 and left on a free transfer. So, to be honest with you, I didn't like him. I thought he was absolutely crap. He was dog bollocks, shit. Sorry, I swore there. Yeah, but he was absolutely rubbish. So for me, Mike Hooper, the goalkeeper, is definitely in for the goalkeeper award for one of the worst. We've had some bad keepers, but the fact that he was caught laughing on TV when we conceded, that's not a team player. So people like that need to go, and off he went in the bin. Let's just go into some comments, see if anybody else agrees with me. Mike Hooper, would you say he was the worst keeper? Tony Ross says, hi, Tony, how are you? I'm absolutely fine, mate. How are you? Evening, lads and lasses, says Mad Mag. Good evening to you. Greg Pierman, evening, Tony. Hope you're well. Very well, mate, very well. And I hope you're well too. And nice weekend to have as well. I'm sticking with Mark Gillespie in goal. Oh, you're sticking Gillespie in goal. Sai says, right on that, he was a disaster. Absolutely. Terrible, good choice. Yeah, absolutely. I thought so. Greetings, says Jam Stasher. Good evening to you, mate. Hope you're well. Yeah, so that's that. Right, okay, so look. Now, we've had various players play at right back. We've had a lot of right backs, in fact. This guy has played at right back for us before. Okay, you could say he's more of a centre half, but he has done right back for us. That's why I've stuck him at right back. And to be honest with you, I think he was absolutely woeful. To be honest with you, I was never sold on this player at all. This player signed for us. He signed a 5.5-year contract for £8 million. And he, and when he came into the club, we were probably expecting big things from him in 2005. But he made 47 appearances for us, and obviously left in 2006. He was signed from Rangers. His name is Jean-Alain Boumsong. There we go. So there's Boumsong. What a terrible defender this guy was. He was woeful. £8.5 million on this guy who, yes, okay, he looked good in Scotland for Rangers, but when he come to the Premier League, he was out of his depth. He was awful. One of the worst defenders I've ever seen pull on a Toon shirt. I never rated him. And why did we even go out and spend £8.5 million on this heap of rubbish? Why? He did have some good defensive games for us. He did have some good games, but to be fair, he just went to pot and he was absolutely awful. His lapses in concentration and things like that. So for me, Boumsong is up there is one of the worst, and I've put him at right back because he has done that before for us, and so that's why I've stuck him there. I have my worst, just waiting for you to get the position. Okay then, mate, no worries. We've got the mighty win in the middle, Tony at the back, Gallant in attack. Evening, says Pete. Evening to you, Pete. Hope you're well. Pete, so far I've had Mike Hooper, who's the goalkeeper, is the worst, and I've got Boumsong at right back. So that's all we've done so far. Thought he was a groundsman. Sai says, oh my God, don't get me started, Tony, pal. Hey, no worries, Sai. Get your thoughts in, mate. Get your thoughts. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So, okay, so we've done Boumsong. So we're going to go into central defence now. And obviously there's two players there that, for the centre half post. So the first one, I'm pulling up. I mean, look, this guy had a great reputation at the time, signed for us in 2002, stayed with us for 5 years, made 105 appearances, scored 3 goals. We got him for £6 million. Signed for Bobby Robson. And we signed him from Ipswich Town because he looked as if he was a great, great player. There he is. It is Titus Bramble. Yep, there we go. Tight Arse Bramble, if you want to call him that. Or Titus Shambles, as he used to be well known as well. Look, This guy would have been a cracking defender if he didn't have concentration lapses. The concentration lapses cost us games, cost us goals. This kid could have been an absolute fantastic defender for us. He could have been brilliant. And to be honest with you, he never went to his full potential. And he was just absolutely woeful, I mean, he did score for us in the UEFA Cup second round with a header against the Latvian side, Ventspils. But yeah, he weren't that great, and he left in 2007 and went to Wigan Athletic. But as I say, Titus Bramble, for me, he never cut it at Newcastle. Never cut it. Shame because the lad had the world at his feet, and but again, some of these players, they just can't do it. And fortunately, he was not up to standard. Bramble scored against Chelsea, a key goal and an UEFA Cup. Yeah, he did. But he was still poor. Titus Shambles, a waste of brain he was. Says Sai, and Bias says, I'm sticking Sol Campbell in there. You see, I had loads of I could have stuck in there. That's the thing. It's hard because you got to pick an 11. So, trying to pick an 11 is like, it's mad, isn't it? So, but yeah, it really is. It really is difficult to pick an 11. Right. Okay. So Bramble's partner in this defence of mine. Well, this has got to be one of the worst I've ever seen. This guy is just, honestly, he was one of the best centre-halves in Europe at the time. He just come off a cracking. He was one of the best centre-halves in Europe. And when we signed him, I was like, yes, I'm glad we've got this guy. But by the end of his career, I was so glad when he went, because he was terrible for us. Well, when we saw him play, that is. And that is Marcelino. Yep, there he is in all his glory, Marcelino. Signed for us in 1999, left in 2003, and made 17 appearances. There you go. He signed for 5.8 million after impressing for Mallorca in Spain and Europe. He appeared 20 times in all competitions for us in the first year and a half, but then got placed in a reserve team for the rest of his spell and finally reached an agreement to leave in 2003. He hadn't featured for the main squad since February 2001 when we played Charlton Athletic. He suffered several difficult injuries with us in his time, which started his career. The most famous one, and I mean, at the time, I just laughed. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But when he snapped his finger tendon, which prevented him from playing for 2 months, he had his hand in a sling for his finger being broke. Yeah, so his hand was in a sling. But yeah, for me, waste of time, waste of money. Yes, he looked a great centre half, and when we signed him, I was pretty pleased with that. But by the time he went, I thought, you know what? Thank God we've got rid one of these again. Another bad move from the club, and another expensive flop. So Marcelino is the other centre half to Bramble as well. I'm just going to nip into some comments here. Aiden says you play well, then give away a penalty, got sent off, had no concentration for a full 90. Absolutely, mate. He didn't, did he? Absolutely not. Jesus Gomez, yeah, that's another one, yeah. So I'm saying there's so many you can put in there. The lapse of confrontation, otherwise okay, yeah. I remember a pick of Sol Campbell when he played for us at the beach with a beer belly. Yeah, I remember that. Ian says, "Alright, lads and lasses, alright, Ian. Hope you're well, mate." Can we put Steve Bruce as a worst manager for this team? Do you know what, Greg? That's a show for another day. We're going to do the worst managers at Newcastle. So that's a one we're going to do. So keep an eye out for that one coming up. And waste of money was, yes, absolutely was. Ian says, Harry, Tony, hope you're well, pal. Yeah, absolutely fine, mate. Great to have you on the other night. Ian, do you agree with some of these so far? I've got Mike Hooper as the goalkeeper. I've put Boomsong at right back. And I've put Marcelino and Bramble in the middle. So that's who we've got so far. I mean, there's lots we can put in there. Wouldn't have paid £8.99 for that. No, absolutely not. So Marcelino was a very, very, let's just say, an expensive flop. That's for sure. So yeah, right. Okay. So the next player I'm going to go to, and he is at left back. Now this left back, played for us from 2016 till 2021. So he was with us for 5 years. He did make his debut in a 2-0 win in the EFL Cup against Wolverhampton Wanderers. And he came on as a 72nd minute substitute in his league debut when he come on for Gouffran against Brentford. But this guy went out and had loan spells. All in all, in the 5 years he was with us, he made 4 appearances. But then he had spells at Benevento in Italy, Sheffield Wednesday, Cosenza, before he finally palmed off to Watford, where he only made 5 appearances. So, the guy that's at left back is him, Ashraf Lazar. Another one, waste of money, waste of a squad player, waste of a place. And yeah, we took him from Palermo, but didn't really do anything. And he just mutually agreed to leave on the 4th of February 2021. But yeah, even got released from Watford, went on trial to Reading. And then, yeah, so that's Ashraf Lazar, who I'm putting at left back. Can't say a lot about him because we didn't really see a lot of him. 4 appearances says it all. Yeah. So for me, at left back, Ashraf Lazar, one of the worst, without a doubt. Bentaleb, yeah, has to be in there as well. Yeah, poor man's Perez. I mean, look, Ashraf Lazar was really bad, wasn't he? Just waste of a pair of boots, says Jeff Knowles. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely, waste of a place, wasn't it? Right. So what we're going to do next, we're going to go into the midfield, and we're going to have a look at who's in the midfield, and see who I've got at the right wing. Okay, so this player signed for Newcastle United. He signed back in 2014. He looked to be a decent player. We signed him on a 6-year deal. Another one of our former owners' famous 6-year deals. £8 million we signed him for. But let's be honest, he came from Montpellier. We were expecting great things of him, but we never saw it. And so that is Remy Kabir. Yes, Remy Kabir, who currently still plays, and he plays for Lille at the moment. So Remy Kabir, come to us. Let's be honest, wasn't great at all. I think in the Premier League he was out of his depth. And it says it all. That in the time he was here, the 2 years he was here, he made 31 appearances and scored 1 goal. Made his debut against Manchester City when we lost 2-0, played the full 90 minutes. The only time he scored was 31st of January 2015, opening a 3-0 win at Hull City. He got player of the month for January by Newcastle fans, but to be honest with you, he wasn't that great. And I think, to be honest with you, it was another one of them that was just a waste. And then he just got pawned back off to France. He left us for Marseille on loan and then joined them permanently. And later he's now at Lille. So yeah. So for me, Remy Kabir is the right winger. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. See if people are agreeing. Hello, Tony and all the chat. Good evening, Wayne. Hope you're well. Ian says Sells, Gamez, Lazar would get in there for me up to now. Yeah, do you know, that's what I'm saying, Ian. There's so many players that you could put in there. That's the thing. We could probably make 4 or 5 teams up easily. But I'm just trying to pick the worst 11 that I can think of. But yeah, there's lots out there, isn't there? Frank Pingle's another one. Throw him in there. Tony has mostly signs based on the money the club are willing to sign. No, it's just basically the worst players as well. Sivey in the midfield for me as well, Tony. Problem with those foreign players too, called up time, so you can't get their legs working, soft asses, absolutely. Damien Duff, yeah, he's another one, isn't he? Yeah, especially when he scored the own goal that sent us down. Right, okay. So that was Remy Cabella we looked at. So the next one, the next player we're going to look at, this player signed for us in 2014 and stayed with us till 2017. And in his 3-year spell, made 22 appearances. Yep. And 1 goal he scored for us. So in 4 years, in 3 years, he played 22 games, which is shocking. Not a lot, is it? Not a lot for us. And we signed him on a 6-year deal again for £6 million. He was our vice captain when he signed for us under Pardew. So here he is, and that is CM De Jong. Now look, at the time he was a cracking player, and we thought we were going to get that great player, but we didn't. Let's be honest, it didn't really work for him on Tyneside, which is a shame. I know we had his brother as well, didn't we, on loan, if you remember. He made his debut as a 70th minute substitute in the game against Villa, but he injured his right thigh in training in the early September, which ruled him out for months. He was then due to make his return in February 2015, but sidelined by a further 8 weeks due to a collapsed lung, a condition he previously experienced while at Ajax. Upon his return to the team, De Jong scored his first goal in a 3-2 loss against Swansea City. He then started for us in a 4-1 victory in the League Cup in Northampton Town, scoring Newcastle's second goal, his second for the club. But in 2016, he was sidelined again for 2 weeks in a freak accident, which one of his contact lenses was pushed into his eye, threatening his sight. And then he went off to PSV after that on loan in Holland. So yeah, it didn't really work for CM De Jong. Shame, because, he was one of the good players coming out of Holland. Such a shame it didn't work out. So for me, he's got to go in there. Evening, Tony and everyone. Keeping well? Yeah, absolutely fine, mate. I hope you're well too. Tony Ross, thank you very much, has gifted 5 black and white memberships. Very kind of you, mate. Thank you very much, and much appreciated. So Foxy, Hellsusa, Angela's baby, Godfather, and Pete WW have been gifted the membership from Tony Ross. Thank you very much indeed, mate. Jam Stasher says, "Oh yeah, he made not want to sign any De Jong ever." Yeah, absolutely. Serious sick note, absolutely. Another sick note, yeah, definitely. Another one that was made of glass completely, wasn't he? So, yeah, so he was well and truly made of glass. Right, okay, so we've seen CM De Jong. So, the next player to come on screen in a moment. You just bear with me, guys. I'll bring him on screen. This was a bit of a strange move, to be fair. Very strange move. I actually felt sorry more, I think, for the player than anything. But he has made my worst 11 anyway. Because we signed him in 2008 on loan, and he made 2 appearances, never to be seen again. We signed him from Valencia. And there he is. His name is Nacho Gonzalez, the Uruguayan. Yep, very famous because Dennis Wise watched a 3-minute YouTube video and decided, wow, this guy is brilliant. We need to get him in. He's a fantastic player. Now, we've all done it ourselves. We've all looked at YouTube. You watch a little bit of highlights and you see, yeah, this guy is the real deal. He looks great. Yes, okay. But come on, a football club doing this, not actually going out to scout him properly, just to watch it on YouTube and say, we'll have him. This is one of them that, really annoyed Kevin Keegan at the time when he was manager. I mean, like I say, I've got to feel sorry for the lad because it's not his fault. And if you remember, this move is when Keegan actually walked out and left. Because, as I say, he picked up a Achilles tendon early in his campaign. He ruled him out for 4 months. And then in February 2009, Chris Hughton was quoted as saying Gonzalez was recovering well and certain would feature again for them. However, he did not ever feature again. So look, the Premier League tribunal after that had decided that the loan signing was made against Keegan's wishes and in breach of his contract resulting in compensation. That's when Keegan won his case against Ashley. Yeah, so, not the lad's fault. Down to poor management. But Nacho Gonzalez is definitely in there, is one of the worst indeed. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of people will agree with that one. Yeah, great, Tony. Even better on getting taken on full time. Nice one, Lee. Well done, mate. Well done. Congratulations, Lee. Sefton says, evening all. Good evening, Sefton. Hope you're well. Cheesy Nacho, says Ian. Yeah, absolutely, Ian. Absolutely, mate. Chili Nacho, says Andrew. He was terrible, wasn't he? But like I say, I'm not going to blame the lad because you can't blame him. Ian says I'm going to have to F off soon because before I do, I have to add these two unless is Owen and Riviere absolutely useless snobbers. Yeah, absolutely they are, aren't they? Owen is as well. Yeah, absolutely, mate. And great to have you on, mate, and we'll see you later. Sorry for jumping the gun, but so-called goal scores, but I couldn't miss out on them. No, absolutely not, Ian. Definitely not, mate. Definitely not. Yeah. Tony Ross says, I agree, Tony. Ian says, I'm trying to forget Dennis Wise was at our club. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah. Right. This player was in my midfield anyway, but Ian has mentioned this guy as well. Look, this was another signing which was a bit of a mystery, really, and a bit of a strange one, really, for the Senegalese player who is now 33. Signed for us in 2016, left in 2021, made 5 appearances and scored that 1 goal, which was a free kick against West Ham United in a 3-2 win. And by the way, it was a stunning free kick, by the way. It was a cracking free kick, let's be honest. But there he is, Henri Saivet. There he is. So Henri Saivet, Senegalese international, came to us, from Bordeaux, and he was awful. He was absolutely awful, wasn't he? Well, we never really saw much of him, did we? As I see, he scored that free kick, which that was a great free kick against West Ham. He had loan spells at Saint Etienne, Sivasspor, and Bursaspor, both in Turkey. At the moment, he's currently joined the French club Pau. I don't know what league they're in. They must be in 2nd division or whatever it is in France, or League 2. I'm just having a look. They're in Ligue 2, so League 2 in France. The one underneath Ligue 1. And he's made 48 appearances and scored 13 goals for them. Well, it's probably his level, to be fair. We signed him for $5 million on a 5.5-year deal. But again, one of these players that just never done it for us, never done it. So to me, it was a pointless. I say this was a pointless signing. Very poor. And you know what? When he went, it was, good riddance. Thank you very much. Off you pop. See you later. So for me, Saivet is definitely in there. So I think everybody might agree with that one. Although one of my strikers will be totally different to what Ian was saying as well. Right. Wise looks like Nookie Bear. Mac says, didn't that Nacho have a good career? He did have a good career. He played in Mexico as well, didn't he? Went back over that way and played over in Central America. But just a shame that he just didn't do it for us. But there again, it was one of those. It wasn't the lad's fault. I can't blame the lad for it. It's not his fault. AirPods on, I'm decorating. Oh, happy decorating there, Sefton. I just want to throw Jack Cole back in there. He was frustrated me to no end. The greatest backward passer in football history. Do you know what it is? Do you know what? That's what I'm saying. There are so many of these players you could put in a worse team. Absolutely. So there's plenty of them out there, isn't there? Saivet joined Paul, and who does Paul play for? Paul. It's P-E-U who he plays for. I don't know how you pronounce it. Paul, whatever. Therefore, Jack had a nightmare. Tony Ross says, Ashley signed anybody with the hope for the sell-on for mega bucks. Yeah. He must have been a bad. Can't remember him, says Ian. Did Saivet even get a fair chance? Only time I remember he scored was West Ham. Do you know what it is, Macca? That's the thing. When he scored that free kick against West Ham, that was a decent free kick. Go back and watch it, guys, on YouTube. Have a look at it. Wasn't a bad free kick at all at the London Stadium. And I thought, oh, maybe we're going to see this guy now. But we didn't see it, did we? And it was a shame, really. Good evening, everyone. Just got in from work. Good evening to you, Julie. Hope you're well. We've just been going through the worst 11, Julie. So while you're there, I'll give you a quick recap on who is in the team so far. So you've got Mike Cooper, the goalkeeper. Then at right back, we've got Jean-Alain Boumsong. Centre halves of Titus Bramble, or Shambles, whichever one you want to call him, and Marcelino. At left back, we have got Ashraf Lazar. In the midfield, on the right, we've got Remy Kabir. And then in the middle, we have CM De Jong and Nacho Gonzalez, the guy we bought off, well, the guy was signed off YouTube. And then Henri Saivi. So that's where we're up to now, Julie. So I just thought I'd give you that quick recap. And Splat as well. Good evening to you, mate. Hope you're well. Look what mate Ashley done with Kabai. Twat, yeah, absolutely, Wayne. Absolutely, mate. Right, we're now going to get into the strikers. And look, that's some... These strikers, now look, one of them I haven't actually got in the team, which I thought I would have put in the team, but I put this guy ahead of him because I just thought he was poor. He was poor, really, really poor. We signed him in 1998. He had 4 games for us and scored 1 goal, and that was it. But he was terrible. After coming off the back of France's World Cup win in 1998 as well, you know, but for us, he just really didn't do it for us. He didn't really. I don't think maybe he didn't get the chance, but he just looked absolutely lost when he was pulled on a Newcastle shirt. So I've put Stefan Givosh there. So some people may remember Stefan Givosh, some may not. Some may be too young to think who's Stefan Givosh. But he won the World Cup with France in 1998. You know, and so yeah. But again, it's just one of those players. I mean, you know, he got the golden boot for Auxerre because, you know, he scored 21 goals in 32 games for them. So his scoring record was absolutely fantastic. But when he came to us, he just looked absolutely woeful. Then we sold him on to Rangers at a loss. And yeah, for Rangers, he made 14. He played 14 games and scored 5 goals. Then he went back to Auxerre and then he finished at Guingamp. But yeah, look, the guy was poor, let's be honest. He wasn't that great. So I've put Stefan Givosh there as one of the worst 11. Mac says, do you think a lot of players get frozen out when they were brought in from the former regime? Might have been the case with Saivi. Do you know what? It's a good question, that. It really is. It's a good point, because the thing is, as I say, I would like to have seen Saivi play a bit more, but we didn't see him. And maybe he could have been a cracking midfielder, for all we know, just was never given the chance. So yeah, it could be, yeah. Titus Bramble. Leon Best. To be fair, I wouldn't put Leon Best there as a worst striker, because I thought Leon Best done all right for us. He wasn't that bad. He wasn't the worst striker. And he did score some important goals for us as well. He's 37 now, Leon Best, by the way. But yeah, Leon Best, I thought he wasn't bad for us. He played 42 games, got 10 goals. So I certainly wouldn't put Leon Best there as the worst player. I didn't think he was that bad, to be honest, Wayne. White shorts look terrible with that kit as well. Yeah, they do, don't they? Absolutely. So yeah, so that was Stefan Givosh. Right, now on to the final player. And the final player in this one is, well, who do you think it's going to be? Who do you think this final player is going to be? Shall I keep you in suspense for a little bit more? Or shall I come out with the player now? Because, look, this player, well, let's be honest, was absolutely awful. One of the worst players I've seen in a Newcastle shirt, if I'm honest. Tell you what I'll do. Let's get him on screen. There he is. Emmanuel Riviere. There we are. So, what did we know about Emmanuel Riviere? Well, he signed in 2014, left in 2017. He's made 26 appearances. He scored 1 goal in 26 games. He signed a 4-year deal for an undisclosed fee, believed to be in the region of 6 million. He became Alan Pardew's 5th signing. Riviere spoke of his excitement joining the club, saying, "I'm very happy to be here in Newcastle. When the club spoke to me, I said yes immediately. It was an easy decision because Newcastle's a big club with great fans and a good stadium." I mean, look, he was really poor. The only time he scored was against QPR away, when he was set up by Tim Krul. But yeah, look, he wasn't great. Let's be honest, he was poor. So for me, Riviere, absolutely awful. Then he went to Metz in 2017, had 43 games and scored 7 goals. I mean, that's how poor of a striker he is. He's currently playing at Martinique at the moment, and he's got 5 appearances and 3 goals at the moment for Martinique. But let's be honest, absolute awful player. Yeah, so the least said about him, the better. But yeah, off he goes. So yeah, so that was Riviere. Let's start with the next. Says Paul. Hi mate, hope you're well, Paul. Jam says Nail Range. That's what I'm saying. This is the thing. There are so many players you could put in these worst 11s. That's the thing. We could make 3, 4, 5, 6 teams probably out of these worst 11s. Owen, yeah, Owen's got to be in there as well. But even Antonio, a few duds there. Absolutely, Alan. Absolutely. That's duds 11, isn't it? So many to choose from, unfortunately. Absolutely. 1 goal wonder. Well, he wasn't even that great, though, was he, Lee? Come on, let's be honest. He was absolutely dross, wasn't he? Absolutely. I remember him, Tony. Forget about Shay. Yeah, you do, Wayne. Absolutely. Excellent ends with Cisco. Oh, yes, that's right. Cisco. Oh, God, yeah. Cisco, another one that was just absolutely awful as well. Yeah. Another awful player. Sorry, Martinique's his international career. But he hasn't got a club now at the moment, so, well, not surprised. He's crap, that's why. But yeah, Cisco was another one, wasn't he? He was awful as well. So yeah, absolutely. But yeah, another one who we can finally forget about, who's 37 years of age now. But we'll look at Cisco. He's 2008 to 2013, 5 years at Newcastle, 9 appearances and 1 goal. That's how poor he was. He was awful. And yeah, the least said, the sooner mended for that player. Can you remember Billy Whitehurst, Tony Record saying at the time was hopeless? Yes, he was. He was absolutely awful, wasn't he? Nearly fell off me ladder, Titus Bramble. Now, don't fall off your ladder now. Macca says, do you remember when we had Bruno Fernandes on trial? No, I don't remember that actually, Macca. Did we have him on trial? Oh, different Bruno, though. Maybe, I think so, but it was probably that long ago. I probably can't remember him now. Couldn't hit a barn door, shit. Lucky you, Wayne. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, look, that was a great, that was a good first 11, worst 11 to look at. So we'll do a brief recap. You know, May Cooper in goal, Boomsong at right back, followed by Titus Bramble, Marcelino, Lazar at left back, right wing, Remy Cabia, and then the centre, CM De Jong, Gonzalez, Xavier left wing, Givosh up front, alongside Riviere. And look, I'm going to cap it off now, and I'm going to say, who could manage that? Worst 11, no other than this man. There you go. There's the worst 11's manager. There he is. Have it there. Cabbage sheet. You can be the manager for that team, because it would probably be a team just at your level. So there we go. And that caps that off with that one. Don't have nightmares, Tony. Absolutely not, Jeff. Absolutely not, mate. No, definitely not. So yeah, tomorrow I'm off to Kenilworth Road to go and watch the women play in the National League Cup final. They play #United. That game is actually on BBC iPlayer, BBC Sport, and I think the Red Button as well. So that should be a good game. 2:30 kickoff. Come on, let's hope the women can bring the League Cup home, and that would be fantastic, because the women's team's been fantastic since the ownership have came in. Do you think that team would win a game in the Premier today, Tony? I doubt it, Ian. I doubt it very much, mate. I doubt it. And Ian says cabbage heat. Yeah, so I'm off to Luton tomorrow, but I will do vlogs, so do keep an eye out for that. And they will be uploaded on the channel. I'll try and do a live if I can when I'm there as well. That depends on what the internet's like there. So we'll wait and see on that one. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed that Worst 11. It was something different to do. I will probably be on Pete's show later, so if you're on there as well. Alan says you could still find a bench at Dross worst subs. Yeah, I'm going to do the worst managers as well, Alan, so that's going to be an interesting one. It's on BBC iPlayer Sefton, and I believe the Red Button, but I'm not sure, but it's definitely on the iPlayer. So if you go on your smart TV, BBC iPlayer, you'll definitely get it on there. Definitely not Ian, Tony, or City interested in Bruno. Hope not. Let's hope not. No, we don't know. We don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But that's for another show. We'll do that. But yes, guys. Yeah, I'm going to go off and get my tea, because I've got to be on Pete's show later. But look, it's been a great. Yeah, where is the women's game streamed? Jam Stasher. It's on BBC iPlayer. That's what it's on, BBC, and so that's where you'll find it. Good luck to the women's team tomorrow. Come on, the Mighty Toon Army. Absolutely, Lee. Absolutely. So check out the BBC iPlayer, and that's where you should find the women's game on there as well. Great show, Tony. Cheers, mate. You've already named the worst manager. Yeah, I have to an a point, but then again, we can still do a worst managers one, because we can have a look through at different managers, because I've got a few who I can put in there. Great show, Tony. How are you, the lads? Oh, cheers, Sefton. Thank you. Lee says, great show tonight, Tony. No, cheers, mate. Thank you very much indeed. Where there's no manager worse than cabbage heat? Well, there is one. What time's kick off? 2:30 in the afternoon, 2:30 p.m. UK time. Auf Wiedersehen all. Auf Wiedersehen to you. Bruce says Alan as well. Yeah, absolutely. Take care, everyone. Great show, Tony. Cheers, mate. But guys and girls, before you do go off the show tonight, if you haven't yet hit that like, please do smash that like. It does help the channel. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, come and hit the subscribe. Come be part of this great community, and hit the bell notification to keep you up to date with further shows, live, pre-records, or anything else as well. A couple of last comments. Goodbye, everyone. Take care. Cheers. Thank you very much, Julie. And she said, no doubt, see you most on TTR and PDs later. Yeah, absolutely as well. So thank you very much, guys and girls, for being on tonight. I know it's only been a shortish one tonight, but I think it's been quite a fun show. And look, we'll do one with the worst managers, definitely, probably sometime next week. Back on the channel next week will also be the dynamic duo. So that's me and John Sinclair. Back on this channel, the dynamic duo is back. So that show will be back. So keep an eye out for that one coming back, folks. It's great to have John back again. And look, don't forget to share these shows, because, you know, the more exposure it gets out there, the more people come in and see these shows as well. But until then, guys, enjoy your evening, whatever you're doing. Stay safe. Take care. How are the lads and the lasses?